Hello, hello, and welcome to episode 224 of the Compassion and Cucumbers podcast. I'm Christine.
And I'm Sam.
We're sorry we're late. If you listened to my sorry we're late message
right
yesterday, you will know why we're late. We'll get into that after we let you know what's going on in today's show. So here's what's coming up in today's show. In this week's Y Files, we'll tell you about a recently discovered hamster-sized mammal that lived alongside dinosaurs and could be a link to the mammals of today.
In our Noteworthy segment, the Sportsman's Alliance is claiming a major win in the passing of the most recent language in the Farm Bill. We'll tell you why they're celebrating.
And in our main topic, we're going to be talking about the dogs that were purchased from Ridglan Farms. Is the purchasing of dogs from Ridglan Farms really a win for the future of open rescue? We'll discuss.
Yeah.
But before we get into all of that, what have we been up to?
I've been getting old.
Sam has been having some back issues.
I have.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like I said in our little announcement yesterday, that this is what happens to an aging dancer's body.
It's very true.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, Sam has a good friend who in his 30s
had a double hip replacement.
Had both of his hips replaced.
Yep.
So because when you dance, and Sam in her younger years was primarily a ballet dancer.
Initially, yes.
Yeah, until you got into
college. Yeah, and then I got into contemporary dance.
Yeah. Your body is doing things that your body wasn't meant to do.
Oh, yeah. All kinds of things that we're just not supposed to be doing.
Yeah. I mean, you have this incredible turnout that happens when you're in ballet. You're not naturally supposed to have that.
No, definitely not.
So what happens is, you explain it, your muscles get tight where they shouldn't be tight.
They become imbalanced.
Yeah.
Yeah. So probably, I know the imbalance that I have in spades is having really long, flexible hamstrings and really tight, short quadriceps and hip flexors.
Yeah.
And so now that I'm older and my flexibility as a whole is kind of shrinking a little bit, that's becoming more problematic.
Yeah.
And it's kind of placing pressure and it's pulling on my pelvis in strange ways.
Yeah.
And it's causing me some lower back pain.
Yeah, it's been pretty severe. She's kind of under explaining how really severe it's been over like the course of almost 2 months now.
Yeah, the last 2 months have been rough.
Yeah.
I will fully admit.
Yeah.
And this is something that's been on and off for several years now.
True.
But now it's becoming a little more chronic.
Yeah.
And so finally, I'm taking steps to address it.
Yeah.
And actually figure out what's going on and how I can keep myself healthier, and also still continue to do what I do for, at least the next 8 to 10 years or so.
Right, because this is not a great thing to be happening to somebody that teaches movement.
No.
Yes.
No, it does make things a little bit complicated.
Yes, and I always tell Sam, it is time now for her to get her big stick. I don't know if you remember, some of you might be old enough to remember the show Fame.
Yep, Debbie Allen.
Debbie Allen on Fame had that big stick that she used to count off with.
She sure did.
And, there wasn't a whole lot. She didn't do a whole lot of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Demonstrating?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, no, she did.
Did she?
You have to actually watch the show.
I know.
Yeah.
It's been so long since I've seen it.
Oh, no.
And all I ever remember is her with that big stick.
Oh, well, of course, because that's in the intro of every episode.
Right.
Is her with the big stick. I still know exactly what she's saying at the time that she's wielding the big stick.
I did love that show.
It's a great show.
Yeah. Not to get off the subject or anything.
Yeah. No, absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been getting old and figuring out how to deal with that.
Yeah. We're all getting old, and these are the things that we have to deal with as we get older. Yeah. I, on the other hand, have to deal with the fact that I am clumsy, accident prone, have no spatial awareness of my body. I'm constantly running into things. We talked about my hand being sliced open last week. The stitches are out and I'm healing up fine.
Yeah, looks real good, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much healed at this point. So
that's awesome.
We always used to joke that Sam, because she's a dancer, when we get older, she won't have the use of her legs.
Right.
And I, because I've been a guitar player all my life, plus I worked at UPS for 30 plus years.
Will not have use of her arms and shoulders.
Will not have use of my arms and shoulders.
So so she's going to have to push me around in a wheelchair while I reach for things. That's the picture that we're getting. Yeah.
Yeah, should be fun. Yeah. Oh, we got a couple of things to tell you about. This Saturday, if you're in the area, I don't think that this is just like a thing you can drop into, but I wanted to let everybody know how excited we are to be doing a food demo at the Syracuse Vegan Living Center, and we'll be celebrating the graduation of this year's pledges.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, we're going to do a potluck. It's going to be so fun.
So Christine is going to be teaching people how to make her tofu ricotta.
Yeah.
And we're going to make some lasagnas to bring with us and to share with everybody.
Yeah.
So we're super excited for that. We always love a trip to Syracuse.
Yeah.
And of course, that also means that next week's episode, we'll be able to talk a little bit about a couple of our favorite stops in Syracuse. Yeah. Including, of course, Nice Biscuit.
Always.
And we'll probably stop at the Sweet Praxis for some vegan pastries.
Some sweets.
Yeah, because, got to do that.
Yeah. But if you're in the Syracuse area and you're not already vegan and you've been considering going vegan, the Vegan Living program is an excellent way to go.
It is. It's fantastic.
Yeah, because then you have like a mentor and they have all kinds of great activities. And last week they were at, I don't remember the name of the animal sanctuary that they are, but they take trips. They teach you how to cook. They give you information about animal agriculture. It's like a very well-rounded program and with a lot of support. So if you're in anywhere near Syracuse, or even if you're not, the Vegan Living Center is all over the country. This is just the Syracuse faction of the Vegan Living Center.
Syracuse faction. I like that. That's great.
In other fun news, Veg Fest is returning to Buffalo, New York.
Yes, this is so exciting.
Yeah.
There has not been a Western New York Veg Fest. It's been in the last 2 years.
I think it's been 2 years.
2 years. So we're super excited that there will be a Veg Fest in Western New York this year. It'll be happening on August 30th, and it is under new leadership and at a new location.
Yeah.
And so Big Bite Buffalo, which is what the new Veg Fest will be called, will take place in Delaware Park, which is awesome. So excited about that.
Yeah.
At the Parkside Lodge from 9 to 4.
Yeah, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
on August 30th.
So I would imagine that some of the food vendors that are going to be there are going to be serving breakfast.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's kind of what we've been up to. Should we just jump into the show?
Let's do it.
All right. Let's talk about this week's Y Files. So on my outline, I have ancient hamster-sized mammal.
That's awesome.
This comes to us from futurity.org. Newly discovered hamster-sized mammal lived alongside dinosaurs. Researchers have discovered the fossil of a new hamster-sized mammal that lived along dinosaurs on the Pacific coast. Mammals and dinosaurs coexisted on Earth until a catastrophic event 66 million years ago killed 75% of the life on the planet. Despite the devastation, some animals survived, including rodent-like mammals. Okay, here we go. In the Cimolodon genus. Did I say that right?
I'm not 100. I think it's probably
Cimolodon.
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 I think it's probably Cimolodon.
Or Cimolodon.
But I'm not 100% sure. So.
Yeah, don't quote us on that. These creatures are part of the multituberculates, a group that arose during the Jurassic period and survived over 100 million years before going extinct. Studying these animals helps researchers better understand how mammals survived the mass extinction event and then diversified into the variety of mammals around today. If you have PBS or the PBS Passport app, there is a wonderful documentary about this particular dinosaur species.
Cool.
It's very cool how they survived. And, you know, when all the larger dinosaurs all went extinct.
Yeah.
A research team led by the University of Washington has identified a new species
in the Cimolodon genus.
My brain, I have dyslexia. I don't know if we've ever mentioned that. My brain, when I see a word come up, I know I'm going to have a hard time pronouncing it. Just like it stops.
Yeah.
A research team led by the University of Washington has identified a new species in the
Simolodon.
genus from a fossil the team discovered at a research site in Baja, California. The researchers estimate that this fossil is about 75 million years old. That's incredible. The new species named
Simolodon desicci.
Yes, was about the size of a golden hamster, the researchers say, and it likely scampered on the ground and in trees and ate fruits and insects. The researchers published these findings in the Journal of Vertebrate Paleontology. The genus Simolodon was a pretty common mammal during the late Cretaceous, the last epoch of the age of dinosaurs. Simolodon fossils have been found throughout the western North America, from western Canada down through Mexico, says senior author Gregory Wilson Mantilla, a UW professor of biology and curator of vertebrate paleontology at the Burke Museum. This new species, we're just going to have to keep saying it, Simolodon desicci, was ancestral to the species that survived the extinction event. It and its descendants were relatively small and omnivorous, two traits that were advantageous for surviving. When Wilson Mantilla and his team discovered the fossil in 2009, they found teeth, a skull, jaws, and parts of the skeleton, including a femur and an ulna. It's very hard to find fossils at this site compared to other areas, Wilson Mantilla said. At first, my field assistant found just a little tooth poking out. If he had just found that, I would have been over the moon. But when we looked inside the crack of the rock, we could see that there was more bone. The fact that the researchers uncovered more than just teeth, 4C dinososa, oh, now they're just going to abbreviate it, thank you, means that they can better understand its size and shape and how it likely moved. It also helps fill out the picture of this genus and the habitat in which it lived, and contributes to a better understanding of the multituberculate group in general. The researchers used digital imaging and a tool called microcomputed tomography, or micro-CT, to get high-resolution images of the fossil. Then the team compared the teeth of C. desicci to those of its cousins in the Simolodon genus to establish it as a new species. That far back in time, everything is named based on their tooth characteristics, Wilson Mantilla said. If you find a skeleton that's missing teeth, sometimes it's hard to attach it to a name. The team named this species after Michael DeSouza, the field assistant who first found it, because DeSouza died while they were still analyzing the fossil. He was a great field assistant, and he was like a little brother to me, Wilson Mantilla said. It's a great specimen to be associated with. Okay, so I find this era of Earth's history fascinating. There were several mass extinction events.
Yes.
This particular mass extinction event that this species survived, it's amazing that it survived.
Yes.
And
it's amazing that anything survived. I mean, it took out 75% of life on the planet.
Of life on Earth,
That's huge.
Yeah. And these little creatures, because they were so small, they could dig holes, they lived underground and somehow survived through all of that turmoil.
Yeah.
I don't know what they ate. It'd be really cool if you could just go back in time and see how they managed to survive. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, there's theories, of course. But yeah, so this little hamster-sized dude is is the reason why we have mammals today.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing. I mean, if you think about that, since we ourselves are mammals,
yes,
this little hamster-sized dude is why we're here.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
It's definitely part of the reason why we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So thank you, hamster-sized dude. I'm just enjoying saying that now.
Oh, and thank you for putting up with me not being able to pronounce words.
It's all good.
And my dyslexia. I can't even say dyslexia. That's how bad it is.
All good.
When
No
I was
worries.
when I was young, I used to flip-flop like compound words.
Yeah.
Which now they say is like nobody talked about dyslexia when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. It just, I'm sure it existed, but nobody talked about it.
Sure.
And they certainly weren't trying to diagnose kids with reading issues with dyslexia. Because like I was saying, when I was a kid, I used to flip-flop almost all compound words, and I still do it today.
Oh.
Not all the time, but the really interesting thing is when I'm typing, I flip-flop letters when I'm typing.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I used to say, instead of lawnmower, I would say more lawn.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or fire truck, I would say truck fire.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah. Huh. So something in my brain is wired backwards or something.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I didn't know that. How amazing that, we've been hanging out for almost 20 years now, and I didn't
You didn't know
that.
I never told you that.
That's really cool.
You learn something new every day.
Indeed.
Shall we move on to our noteworthy segment?
Yes, and this is noteworthy, but really not in a good way.
No, it's not.
So this is coming to us from the Sportsman's Alliance, and you can imagine that the Sportsman's Alliance is a pro-hunting organization.
Exactly.
All right. So the House passes the 2026 Farm Bill, and the anti-hunting language has been removed in what the Sportsman's Alliance consider a major win. Summary. The U.S. House of Representatives has passed the 2026 Farm Bill after successfully removing anti-hunting language that threatened sporting dog traditions and conservation funding.
They always like to sneak that conservation thing in there.
They do.
Yeah.
It's greenwashing.
Yeah, it is.
At its finest.
Yeah.
In a major win for conservation, the U.S. House of Representatives today passed the Farm, Food, and National Security Act of 2026, simply known as the Farm Bill. Farm Bill passage is never easy, but it is vital. The Farm Bill positively impacts countless wildlife species, hunting access, and American families, and the Sportsman's Alliance applauds its passage in the House. Yeah, whenever you want to say that something has served people well, what do you got to say? It's positively impacts wildlife species
Right.
and American families.
Right, American family values, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Farm Bill is one of the most important pieces of legislation considered by the U.S. Congress. It contains funding and sets policy on items ranging from conservation programs valued by American sportsmen to SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program benefits that help feed low-income families. The conservation title of the bill outlines and funds numerous programs that benefit sportsmen and wildlife, including the Conservation Reserve Program and the Voluntary Public Access and Habitat Improvement Program, which create valuable wildlife habitat and provide public hunting access.
Yeah, so let's provide valuable habitat for wildlife so that people can go and shoot them.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. So they're saying that this is pro-wildlife. It is not pro-wildlife.
It's pro-hunting.
It is pro-hunter.
Yeah.
Yes. We're incredibly grateful for House Agriculture Committee Chairman G.T. Thompson's leadership on the Farm Bill generally, and more specifically, his concerns for hunters and conservationists, and his efforts to remove the anti-hunting language from the Farm Bill, said Torrin Miller, Associate Litigation Counsel at the Sportsman Alliance Foundation. We'll now focus our efforts on getting a Farm Bill clean of anti-hunting and anti-sporting dog language passed in the Senate and eventually Congress as a whole. As a result of tireless advocacy by the Sportsman's Alliance, its members and affiliates, and strong congressional leadership, the anti-hunting language previously amended into the Farm Bill was removed. That language, which was put forth by animal rights groups, would have banned certain types of hounds and sporting dogs in hunting, as well as the use of live lures for training or field trials.
Yeah, so they're happy. I mean, this is an article from the Sportsman Alliance, and the byline above that paragraph is Animal Rights Amendments successfully removed from House Bill.
Yes.
Darn those animal rights.
Darn those animal rights. That's right. The U.S. Senate Agriculture Committee is expected to put forth its own version of the Farm Bill in the coming weeks. The Sportsman's Alliance is working with Senate leadership to ensure that anti-hunting and sporting dog language does not make its way into any version of the Senate's Farm Bill. The Senate will adopt and pass some variant of the Farm Bill put forth by the Senate Agriculture Committee, and then leadership in both the House and Senate will reconcile each chamber's version to pass a final unified Farm Bill. So the Sportsman's Alliance is asking its members and supporters to reach out to Chairman Thompson and their representatives to thank them for passing the Farm Bill and removing the anti-hunting language pushed by animal rights activists.
So that's who you need to contact and tell them that you're not happy about the removal
That's right.
of that language.
They are also asking members to ask their senators to support a Senate Farm Bill clean of anti-hunting and anti-sporting dog language.
Yeah.
So what they are seeking is the right to exploit dogs of traditionally hunting breeds in order to kill wildlife.
Yes, and to maintain the legalization of live lure use, which is usually like a raccoon or something either tethered
Yep.
or they just release them and let the dogs have their way with them.
Yeah.
It's terrible. I actually grew up near a gentleman that had coon hounds, and he also had raccoons in cages that he would take them
Oh
out
my God.
to train them. It's terrible.
No.
We would go and visit the raccoons because they're very cute.
Well, of course, raccoons are adorable.
Yeah, but those poor animals. So, yeah, once again, the Farm Bill is being stripped of everything, like, all of the protections for hens and cages, and all of these protections are being stripped away from this Farm Bill. And it has passed the House. It has not passed the Senate yet, and we'll keep you posted.
Yep.
I don't have a lot of confidence that any of that stuff will remain.
No,
in the
I
bill.
don't. I don't either.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really quite sad.
It is. We'll keep you posted on it.
Yep.
It is time now for our main topic. Speaking of dogs,
So this is coming to us from WKOW.com. Animal rescue groups reach an agreement to acquire 1,500 beagles from Ridglan Farms. The Center for a Humane Economy and Big Dog Ranch Rescue announced an agreement with Ridglan Farms to acquire 1,500 beagles bred for laboratory research. Wayne Pacelli, president of the Center for a Humane Economy and Animal Wellness Action, and Lori Simmons, president and founder of Big Dog Ranch Rescue, formally announced the agreement at a press conference Thursday in Madison. This is really part of a larger effort to move our nation away from beagle testing, primate testing, and other forms of animal testing, Pacelli said. The breeder, based in the town of Blue Mounds in Dane County, will transfer the dogs to the animal protection groups, which will treat and socialize them before adopting them out to families. Pacelli said about 300 dogs will be sent to Big Dog Ranch Rescue in Florida. Dane County Humane Society will be staging 500 beagles at its facility. Leaders say they anticipate 50 of the dogs in Dane County will be up for adoption in the coming weeks. The remaining beagles will be sent to other rescue groups throughout the United States. The rescue process will begin Friday and continue for about a week and a half, Pacelli said. Big Dog Ranch Rescue and the Center for a Humane Economy and Animal Wellness Action work with about 50 rescue partners. We want a structured, responsible plan that guarantees every one of these dogs is safely transitioned into the care of reputable, fully vetted rescue organizations, including ourselves, said Simmons. We worked together for almost a month to ensure the right plan was in place. This is what happens when you have collaborative engagement and a shared goal. You get solutions that save lives. On Thursday, Ridglan Farms maintained the dogs under their watch have been well cared for. The dogs at Ridglan Farms are happy, healthy, and well cared for. Publicly
I'm sorry. Okay.
Did you have something to say about that?
Not really.
No, okay. You sure?
Lies.
Well, yeah. Publicly available USDA documentation shows this has been the case for many years, representatives of Ridglan Farms said in a statement. As the dogs sold this week leave our veterinary research facility, we hope they will continue to live happy lives in their new adoptive homes. Ridglan Farms declined to share how many dogs will remain at their facility. Moving forward, Ridglan Farms is in the midst of finalizing arrangements for the remaining dogs, Ridglan Farms said. However, because our facility has repeatedly been the site of mass attacks and break-ins by extremists, with the latest occurring less than 2 weeks ago, we are unable to share updated animal numbers to maintain the safety of our staff and animals. Big Dog Ranch Rescue posted on its website Wednesday that it had reached an agreement with Ridglan Farms to acquire the animals. Ridglan Farms confirmed that agreement to 27 News. The groups involved in the deal are prohibited from disclosing the amount of money paid to Ridglan Farms to acquire the animals. Simmons did clarify the amount was lower than a rumored $1 million offer. Not all of the dogs under Ridglan Farms' ownership were included in the deal. Pacelli said rescue groups remain in discussions with Ridglan Farms to potentially acquire the remaining dogs. Ridglan, to my vantage point, looks like it's winding down operations, Pacelli said. Ridglan Farms has been known as one of the largest beagle breeding research facilities in the United States. Big Dog Ranch Rescue was founded in 2008. The organization said it has saved more than 88,000 dogs. This is a dream come true, to hug and hold these dogs and prepare them for their forever homes, Simmons said. It was very important to me and to all of us at Big Dog Ranch Rescue that there be a structured, responsible plan to ensure every one of these dogs is safely transitioned into our care and the care of our trusted rescue partners. In 2025, Ridglan Farms agreed to stop selling dogs purposely bred for biomedical research by July 1, 2026, as part of a court settlement to avoid criminal charges. Until July 1st, Ridglan Farms is allowed to sell its remaining dogs and operate as a USDA Class A dog breeder.
To avoid criminal charges for what, I might ask, since the dogs are well cared for and happy.
Yes.
Yeah.
In recent months, activists and advocates spoke out, and some broke into Ridglan Farms in an attempt to remove beagles from the property. An incident in March and a separate incident in April resulted in multiple arrests. I also want to acknowledge the role that animal advocates and activists and the public had in this, Simmons said. The courage of these animal advocates and everyone who spoke up to make this possible. It's a powerful step forward towards a much larger mission. Pacelli acknowledged the efforts of animal advocates, but said negotiations had been underway prior to the protests at Ridglan Farms. Dane County Sheriff Calvin Barrett released a statement on the agreement, saying he's happy to see the Beagles getting an opportunity for a different life, while condemning the actions of protesters at the Ridglan Farms property in recent weeks. We are overjoyed to see these 1,500 Beagles heading to loving homes and a far better life. We deeply care about the welfare of every animal in our Dane County community, the sheriff said. The collaboration, cooperation, and communication between the facility and rescue organizations perfectly match our Dane County values.
There go those values again.
Violence and law breaking are never the answer. This is a blueprint for peaceful negotiations and protests nationwide. Barrett continued, "It's unfortunate that what could have been a large peaceful demonstration instead eroded to a coordinated incident that challenged our ability to maintain a peaceful community to live, work, and visit. I'm grateful for the response from our partner agencies and proud of the professionalism our deputies demonstrated under extraordinary circumstances."
Anybody watching videos of the protest will recognize that once again, the police escalated what was a peaceful protest.
Yes.
They were notified. This is how open rescue works. You notify the authorities, the place where you're protesting, so that the media can be alerted,
Right.
so that law enforcement can stand by and make sure nothing bad happens.
Right.
Well, that didn't happen. Law enforcement jumped in
Yeah.
and started like dragging people away. If they hadn't done that, then it wouldn't have deteriorated.
Right. Barrett also said Dane County has an opportunity to be part of the rescue efforts. Our community now has an opportunity to make a real difference, he said. The Dane County Humane Society will be taking in many of the rescued beagles, and we encourage anyone considering adoption to meet these incredible pups and help them start a new chapter. In addition to the Dane County Humane Society, we want to thank Big Dog Ranch Rescue and the Center for a Humane Economy for stepping up to help. The rescue plan represents one of the largest coordinated rescues of dogs from the research supply system. The agreement comes amid accelerating federal efforts to modernize drug development and reduce reliance on animal testing. This is exactly what Secretary of Health and Human Services Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has been advocating for his Make America Healthy Again agenda, Simmons said. It's about using the best, most accurate science available to protect human and animal health. And that includes how we conduct research.
I just love how so many people who shouldn't be claiming this win are claiming this win.
Yes. Yes. Fascinating. The passage of the FDA Modernization Act 2.0 in 2022 removed the longstanding requirement that new drugs be tested in animals prior to human trials. Lawmakers are now advancing FDA Modernization Act 3.0 to further accelerate the transition toward non-animal testing approaches, according to Big Dog Ranch Rescue. Marshall Bioresources, based in upstate New York, still has as many as 20,000 beagles, according to Pacelli. Recent USDA reports noted as many as 50,000 dogs used in research and testing nationwide. In April, FDA Commissioner Marty McCary released a roadmap to reduce animal testing in preclinical safety studies that aims to phase out animal testing as a regulatory requirement in drug development. The organizations are calling on NIH to stop funding any beagle or primate experiments and to ban imports of primates into the U.S. for testing.
Okay, so I just wanted to play devil's advocate a little bit here and ask if we think that purchasing dogs from testing facilities is a good way to go about eliminating testing on animals.
I'm really of two minds with this.
Yeah.
Because no, I don't want financial resources going to these organizations.
Right.
I'm not interested in that at all.
Right.
I would love to see them completely shuttered and, not coming out ahead in some way.
Yeah, they should have, in my opinion, had to hand the dogs over.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah.
However, if the resources exist and it's a simple way to save, in this case, 1,500 lives, 1,500 dogs are being saved from torture and eventual death.
Yeah.
I'm all for that. I'm
Yeah.
glad that this is happening. I don't think it's a perfect system.
Yeah.
I don't love that Ridglan is making money from this.
Yeah.
If we could remove that from the equation, that would be ideal. I would rather see them just surrender the animals.
Yeah, I mean, if they're supposed to be winding down operations, then yes, I feel that we're on the right path with this. But just as you said, you don't want them benefiting monetarily.
No, I don't.
From efforts, from rescue efforts. It just, it rubs me the wrong way a little bit.
It does me as well. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I am deeply grateful that this many dogs are being rescued.
Yeah.
And are going to be socialized and found good homes.
Yeah.
Like, that is wonderful. I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
I wish we were in a position to adopt one of them ourselves.
Right.
Like, I would love to have a beagle puppy. Oh my God. That would be amazing.
Yeah. They're adorable dogs. I have seen some video of some of the rescued dogs. And I really wish that they would have pushed Ridglan to say, okay, 1,500 beagles were rescued for money. how many more are there?
Right.
And they're not willing to disclose that.
Right. And the question then becomes, is this going to set a precedent for other animal testing facilities who are now going to demand compensation
Right.
for those animals instead of, perhaps working towards an arrangement where the animals are simply surrendered?
Yeah.
And so that's concerning to me as well.
Yeah, I think it's kind of sets a weird precedence.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. But again, I'm going to go back to I'm really glad that 1,500 puppies are going to find
1,500
great homes.
1,500 lives have been saved, but when you hear that other testing facilities have like 20,000 animals, you have to wonder how many more are there.
Right.
And you wonder if Ridglan Farms isn't just, well, this will shut people up for a little while.
Right. And of course, the fact that they wouldn't release the number of animals that they still hold is concerning as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll keep following this. And it's interesting that this article didn't mention anybody that was involved in what they were calling in this article extremist behavior.
Yeah. There are plenty of pictures on the website, though. And,
there's our pictures and videos. Of course, it's Wayne Sung from Direct Action and his crew of activists that kind of exposed to the general populace what was going on there.
Yes,
and that is. While it wasn't a win, they didn't manage to do what they wanted to do. That is what they're trying to do, is just create transparency
and awareness,
and awareness about what is going on in these breeding and testing facilities. So,
and they've certainly been successful in that.
Yeah, they have, and charges were dropped for Wayne. So
excellent.
Yeah,
I love that.
I think they know at this point. I think both the authorities and the people at Ridglan Farms know at this point that they're on the losing side of this situation.
Yeah.
So
and that it's really just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's good. I just, like I said, it just something about it kind of rubs me the wrong way. And I don't want to now have, other facilities that are exploiting animals expect payment from animal rights groups in order to relinquish those animals into safety. So, Shall we move on to something a little more fun?
Oh, let's.
Well, it's time for our favorite portion of the show.
Must be listener shout out time.
It's listener shout out.
Just want to give a shout out to all my fans watching. I love you guys. I love you.
This week's shout out goes to Alexa Frandina. Alexa listens to the show, and she's the founder of Big Bite Buffalo. She's an event producer, an event manager. She's been involved in the vegan community in Buffalo for the last decade. So thanks for listening, Alexa.
Yeah, thanks for listening, Alexa. And thank you for bringing a Veg Fest back to the Buffalo area.
Yes, we are so excited.
Psyched. Totally psyched. Please send us your t-shirt size and address so that we can send you a Compassion and Cucumbers swag bag. You can text us using the link in our show notes. You can email us at compassionandcucumbers@gmail.com or simply DM us on Instagram or Facebook.
And for the rest of you out there, if you would like a listener shout out, simply contact us using all the methods that Christine just mentioned. You could also leave us a voicemail.
Yeah.
Are we still waiting for the first voice message?
We are.
Okay.
Don't be shy, people.
Don't be shy, friends.
Leave me a voice message.
Get on it. Christine really wants a voice message.
Even if it's just, hi, I'm leaving a voice message.
Yes, that would be amazing. It would make her day. When you do leave us a message of some kind, just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you think of the show.
Yeah.
We would love to shout you out and send you some swag. You can also always nominate someone else for a shout out.
Yeah, you can do that. It would be fun. Mm-hmm. I guess it is now time to wrap this baby up. But before we go, we always ask you to please subscribe to the show and leave a review if you want on your podcast app, and subscribe to our YouTube. Also, be sure to like and follow us on Facebook and Instagram for updates about the show and pictures of all the vegan food we find or make. And if you want to get news about upcoming episodes, you can do that by subscribing to our weekly newsletter at our website, which is compassionandcucumbers.com.
And with that, it's time to sign off. You have just listened to episode 224 of the Compassion and Cucumbers podcast, and there's nothing left to say but where cukes and compassion are always the fashion.
On the podcast. Thanks, James.
Have a great week, everyone.
We'll talk to you next Tuesday.
We love you.
We do. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.
The end.
Multituberculate
Multituberculate.
activists.
Yes. I can't not see it as activities. That's crazy.
Of C. Disoci. If you'd like to support the Compassion and Cucumbers podcast, well, you can do that by hopping on over to our Patreon page and becoming a patron. We have all the recipes from our vegan kitchen series up there, and we'll be adding some patron-only episodes in the near future. So thank you for supporting us at whatever level that you choose, and thank you again for listening to Compassion and Cucumbers podcast.